Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. We got another race reaction going on here. We are going to wrap up, or we are going to react to the Seattle race that just happened, and that was a wild night of racing. So before we jump in, just want to thank all our sponsors. So 50 Graphics, Complete Racing Solutions, TLR Coatings, Worx Holster Co., and Issac, Nelson Designs, and ProFlow Racing, our newest show sponsor there, ProFlow Racing. So thank you to all of them. Links in the description down below for all of them. All right. Seattle race recap here, or not race recap, race reaction. Gosh, I do too many shows. I can't even keep them all straight. So let's start with 450s here. Cooper Webb wins in a very Cooper Webb fashion. It was a dogfight. He pumped up. His arms were harder than morning wood, which is just the most incredible thing to say in a public manner there like that. Like, that is just, I mean, I'm going to title the video that, Harder Than Morning Wood. What an awesome thing. Anyway, Webb did really Webb things. He got a good start there, and he just kind of was gritty and grounded out all the way to the end. Chase looked really, really good in that main. He also got a really, really good start there. He got the whole shot. And in fact, I think they were giving him the whole shot award there. And, few mistakes, couple little stalls there, and bingo bango, there you are. But he still, him and Webb were right there going across the finish in what's probably one of the closest races we're going to see this year. Dirtworks did a great job and saved that track by getting it built and getting it tarped and everything else. So we actually had a decent racetrack. Again, super soft, super ruddy, but decent. And so that was a good battle for 1 and 2. And now we've got two guys that are now within a race. I believe Webb's 16 points down, Chase is 23 points down. So they're both within a race. Do I think that'll hold up? No. But is it a talking point for the week? Sure, we'll go with that. Now, as far as Jett goes, Jett did veteran things and rookie things all in the same race. So Jett got a shit start and was buried, and Jett was riding his 75 to 80% and still moving through the pack, which is what I think it was JT was harping on all day today. Or I've heard multiple people throughout the week kind of harp on that. If he just rides his normal race and doesn't try to go above his normal pace there, he will still go to the front. And that's exactly what we saw. In that first lap, I was watching very closely. It was something roughly in the 8th to 9th place range coming around that first corner there and down that first rhythm section. And to be honest, he was going to the front. Had he checked up a little bit there with Webb and ended up being able to stay on two wheels, he was going to the front. He was quite literally a second plus a second or more faster per lap than those guys. He was going to the front. Now, he had that little tip over. That was a rookie move. He then had a couple other close calls and said, you know what? Third's good. We're still going to leave here with the red plate and a decent points lead. Veteran move. So for anybody who's saying that he doesn't use his head or he's just a dumb rookie, whatever, I think we've kind of muted that point. As far as he can't get a shit start and come through, I believe we've muted that point. I mean, we saw it on a completely destroyed track that, like, other people weren't making moves on. Jett was still making moves. I believe he's the one guy in the class that can get a shit start and still come through the pack and get up on at least the podium, if not a win. So I think we got a lot of those questions answered there. Hunter wins the heat race. That was really cool to see. Tomac rode really good in the heat races, and Tomac did the same thing he's been doing, which is he gets a shit start and he cannot go anywhere. And I don't know why he can't do this, but he can't. So that happened there. I'm trying to think. AP rode really well today. Doesn't really necessarily show up, but he was right there on Jett in both the heat and the main. So that was really, really good to see. And again, this is just kind of turning into his year, and we're just living in it of being kind of that under the radar guy who's really, really turning in some good rides. So I think that's pretty much all I have for 450s there. we'll argue about this on the show tomorrow, guaranteed, because Justin's not going to agree that he could go to the front, but whatever. That kind of stuff happens. So look for that argument in the wrap-up show here this week. Anyway, moving on to the 250 class, Levi Kitchen was dominant all day. That was all there was to it. He was on a mission to go in there and win that race today, and he did. I mean, he put like 10 seconds on the guys in the heat race and then put, 20 seconds in the main event. I believe he's far and away the guy for this title at this point, as everyone else has finally started to show their true colors. We talk about this, and we talk about this all the time. We talk about it in East Coast and the West Coast here with these 250 guys and these older dudes that are still riding the class that, like, man, they are just, you can't change a tiger's stripes, okay? And we saw that tonight. Jordan Smith did Jordan Smith things, which was he went down that first time, and we could have a long discussion about, after he went down that first time, where his head was at, because then we saw mistake after mistake after mistake after that to a 16th place finish, okay? RJ has already done RJ things this year. We've all seen that, so there's nothing new there. He had a decent ride tonight, but still, whatever. Juju is not scared of anyone, so that's awesome. He will be right up in the mix here all year. The Michael Mosman experiment happened. He was right up there around top 5. Maybe he's fading back to like 6th or 7th at the end. I don't remember. Yeah, of course, I don't have the results pulled up here. But anyway, but he did look good. He looked decent today, but again, he was doing Michael Mosman things. I mean, every practice he had a crash or a tip over or something. That's a Michael Mosman thing. He was fast, but he had that. He got fastest qualifier because he was in B group, so whatever. But outside of that, the Levi Kitchen race was just super duper impressive. Everyone else was just kind of surviving, just kind of there. And so we'll see as we move on and what exactly happens. Joe Shimoda still doing Joe Shimoda things. I actually had some high hopes that he was going to be better because all the pressure was off now because he's out of this title. And then he has a tip over, and then he is just a mid-race on guy in the main event. If we had 30+2 mains for the 250 class, he'd probably win so much more. Because that second half of that main, he was so much faster than everybody else in that 250 class. He just got a crap start, had a little tip over, and just put him way too far behind. Outside of that, dude, he was moving and shaking and in it. So I just don't know. I don't have a really good answer for Joe. I kind of said it on the live show, and I'll say it again. I think he needs to ride a couple more years in the 250 class because he's been in there for 5 years, so maybe a couple more years, see if he can pick up a few more wins, whatever. And then, honestly, I think he just needs to try to find a really, really good secondary 450 ride as these 450 rides really start to open up. Because that's what I think he is. I think he's a secondary 450 guy, to be honest with you. I don't see him being a winner. Even if he turns it around and he starts to win at some point here, I don't see him being a repeatable winner, especially in the 450 class. So that's basically all I have for the race here. I know this is kind of a short one. I'll do better to have more next week maybe, but we'll see how the racing goes. Don't forget to tune into the main show on Tuesday here, as we'll break down all the action from that, as well as a smorgasbord of other things that I have for the Complete Racing Solutions halftime report during the main show. But we will talk Seattle and everything on Tuesday here, like I said, in long form in the main show, so make sure to tune into that. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks to our sponsors. Links in the description down below. Seattle Race Reaction. We'll see you all next week.